Okay, here's a real basic version of Pink Panther, just for the left hand. It's just one hand at a time. All right, let me just show you a few bars, and then we'll go through it. Let's stop here. Okay, so basically, all I'm doing here is on the left hand, running up just a half a tone at a time. You start at the C sharp and the G sharp, move up to the D and A, D sharp, A sharp, E and B, okay? And then back down, go down half a step, to where you started on the C and the G. But the whole song is in the key of E minor here. And obviously you can skip all that other stuff I was doing with the little run up the E minor scale. But if you remember in the first lesson I showed you the C blues scale. Now we're doing in the E, or the E minor blues scale here. And all you were doing with this right hand, if you want to improvise or get a little fancier like I was doing it towards the middle, you run up from the E, G, A sharp, move your thumb to the B, first finger here to the D, thumb to the E, all right? But you don't have to do all that, but that's how if you're trying to figure out on your own the actual notes, it makes it easier if you know this E minor blues scale. Okay, so the actual notes, once you've got this part down, and that's all you're going to do with the left hand. If you want to make it a little more interesting, you could do. And then the actual notes with the right hand, and you start this right hand just before reaching the end of the left hand part. So just as you're coming down to this E and B, you're already starting here. And we go from the E flat to the E, the G flat to the G, C, B, C, B, G, to the B flat, A, G, E, D, E. All right, so really he's just using the E minor blues scale here. And you want to, when you're playing with your right hand, try to make it sound a little slinky and slithering here. Okay, you repeat it. Now we're coming up to the E flat again. And you could do this kind of little octave thing. Repeat it again. A, G. And then finally, come over to the E flat, but up here. So you slip from the E flat to the E, to the D, to the B, G, and then here we're doing the same thing with this little grace note. You start up at the B flat and go to the A. Okay, that's the whole thing. If you want to play a really simple version, you can do a much more complicated left-hand version. There's more stuff you can do with the chords. I don't have the sheet music. I couldn't read it if I did, but this sounds, you know, pretty close. Just a couple other things I do to make it sound more interesting. There's this chord at the beginning. It's the A sharp, and the E, which is basically still the E minor blues scale, but it's just inverted. But you hear this at the beginning of the song. So I'm just doing this, maybe here. And then if you just keep up this pattern on the left hand, you can be running up and down. Okay? And you can improvise that way. But if you want to do the very simple version, just get this left hand down perfectly so you're not thinking about it. And as you're about to play, and you're getting down to this E and B, already start your beginning motif here on the right. Okay? That's it. That's the whole Pink Panther. Good luck.